Peace to you. I hope this finds you well. I'm going to share a quick story. Hopefully I can make it quick, and then I'm going to read a passage out of the Quran. The story has to do with, in the Bible, it says, Holy Mary, Mother of God. Mary, Mother of God. I don't know that it says holy in the Bible. It says Mary, Mother of God. And that line caused me at one point in my life to toss a Bible out the window of a moving car in disgust that I was a Christian, but I was a follower of Jesus. I didn't believe in this idea of Trinity. And so if I didn't believe in that, I certainly did not believe in Mary being the mother of God. That, to me, made absolutely no sense. And what's curious to me is, actually, you know what? Being a Christian, it was easier for me to believe in the resurrection, the death and the resurrection, and I did have differences of opinion as far as that goes, but it was easier for me to believe in that than the virgin birth. To me, that just didn't make any sense. I never understood why it was in there, and then people would point out, well, those kinds of stories were in pagan religions going way back, and then I'm introduced to Islam, and Islam says that in fact Jesus was not crucified and did not die in the way that the Christians believe them to be. But it also explicitly speaks of the virgin birth, and it blows my mind. I feel compelled to try to encourage an understanding between faiths, between Christians and Muslims. I feel that in my soul. I guess because the path that I came from, but there's so much. So anyway, how much time do I have? All right, I really want to read this to you. And as I read this to you, consider that perhaps next Christmas season, when your Christian friends, neighbors, co-workers are celebrating Christmas, the virgin birth of their Messiah, God, you might consider asking them, may I just read you something about? Okay, so we're in chapter 19, Mary or Merriam, and we're in verse 16. And mention in the book, O prophet, the story of Mary, when she withdrew from her family to a place in the east, screening herself off from them. Then we sent to her our angel Gabriel. Appearing before her as a man perfectly formed, she appealed, I truly seek refuge in the most compassionate from you, so please leave me alone if you are God-fearing. He responded, I am only a messenger from your Lord, sent to bless you with a pure son. She wondered, how can I have a son when no man has ever touched me, nor am I unchaste? He replied, so will it be. Your Lord says, it is easy for me, and so will we make him a sign for humanity and a mercy from us. It is a matter already decreed. I'm sorry, I got a little tongue-tied there, the way it was worded. I'll read it, just that part again. Your Lord says, it is easy for me, and so will we make him a sign for humanity and a mercy from us. It is a matter already decreed. the virgin birth was probably the biggest obstacle that I had about Christianity. And although the crucifixion, death, resurrection, all the storyline to me always kind of fell apart after that. Like Jesus appears to his disciples and no one asks what it was like. I don't mean to be disrespectful, but that was disrespectful. I'm sorry. But the fact that we are not working together to see the beautiful connections between our books, between our writings, and between our understandings. I had a fellow respond because I asked in one of my videos about show me where it says that these books are corrupted, and he cited a couple of instances. My argument still is they can't be completely corrupted, and what he cited to me was, although yes, it did say, and they have corrupted the scripture by their tongues. They have, yes, I saw those instances. But where my faith takes me is that God would have preserved the truth. And it's up to us to find the truth in it. But once you do, confirming it with the Quran it's the miracle that you need to see. That's it. Okay. Respect one another. And do good. Peace. I hope this finds you well. I'm sorry, I was just listening to a brother interact with a fellow. What this fellow was saying was, he brought up this particular verse in the Quran, and he says, and if you can prove to me where that exists in the Old Testament, in the Gospel, he said, then I will take my Shahada right now. That's what I heard him say. And then he gave him this verse. This would be the heights. That would be chapter 7 in the Quran, and 157. 7157. They are the ones who follow the messenger, the unlettered prophet, whose description they find in their Torah and the Gospel. He commands them to do good and forbids them from evil, permits for them what is lawful and forbids to them what is impure, and relieves them from their burdens and the shackles that bound them. Only those who believe in him, honor him, and support him, and follow the light sent down to him will be successful. The contention that this young fellow he sounded young, was posing to the host was this idea of when he read, the ones who follow the messenger, the unlettered prophet, whose description they find in their Torah and the Gospel. And when this guy calling in, this guest, said, where is it in the Gospel and the Torah? And the Muslim brother said, well, you don't have those anymore. And this guy said, well, what are you talking about? You guys always say that. Now, so because I'm curious and because I feel as though I'm being led, I shut that off, put on my headphones, listened to the Quran, and I read this. Now, this idea of the unlettered prophet, it was, from what I understand, initially I was told that it meant that Muhammad could neither read nor write. But then it was explained to me that perhaps unlettered means he didn't read their books, you know, the Old Testament, the Torah, the Gospel. He didn't read it. So if you look at unlettered in that capacity. And by the way, someone pointed out that the prophet, prior to the Quran being revealed to him, was a successful merchant or something to that effect. And to call him out and to refer to him as unlettered, he can't read or write, I think it was done to show like a great miracle. He could neither read nor write, but that this was delivered to him. And so I think it was done for that reason. Now, I'm not trying to offend anybody. We're all on this journey together. It's about learning. It's about encouraging each other as best we can. Okay? So, the ones who follow the messenger, the unlettered prophet, whose description they find in the Torah and the Gospel, perhaps if that term unlettered means he didn't read your Gospel and your Torah, the description is his description of the events in their books, not a description of him. I know that just sounded rather accusatory, but as they were talking about it, I asked to be invited up. I wasn't allowed, so I came to you with this. But do you understand what I mean? If unlettered means that Muhammad was not aware, was not familiar with the writings of the Torah, was not familiar with the writings of the Gospel. So he's unlettered in that regard. You know what I mean? And then whose description they find in their Torah and the Gospel. I think the young Muslim brother and anyone who's averting to answer this question, I think, I'm just being led like you. I think perhaps the way to do it is to realize that it's not about the individual being described in their Torah and the Gospel. It's his descriptions of the stories that he is previously unlettered or unread, unfamiliar with. You know what I mean? Anyway, peace. Do good.